when I filed suit against TSA and the airlines, I wasn't seeking monetary damages. I was basically seeking a declaration that I had a right to travel without ID, that everyone has a right to travel without ID. So what I was really looking for was a declaration from the court that the ID requirement was unconstitutional, that it violated the rights of me in particular and the public in general. One of the odd things about ID restrictions is that they don't have much history in the law in the United States. There's a long history of people being able to move around and do whatever they want and not having to show their stinking badges to anybody. And the result is the people who make these rules tend to surround them with procedural protections. So, for example, the secrecy of the TSA rule is an impediment to challenging it. It would be fairly straightforward to go in if Congress had enacted a statute that said everyone must show an ID to get on an airplane, to go into a court and challenge that statute as unconstitutional. Because you could argue about whether it was constitutional, but you'd be arguing about a particular set of wording. Well, we couldn't even see the wording. All we could do, is kind of like the blind man and the elephant, was send people into the system and see what the system did to them. This guy would get through just fine. That woman would even be told, oh, we'll put something on your record that helps you fly back from your destination. So you won't have to worry about an ID at either end. But when I went in, it was like, oh, okay, I must have hit the wrong end of the elephant. There's not much of a history of secret law in the United States either. And so the combination of an uncommon travel restriction and the secrecy of the law made it particularly hard to challenge. In addition, they also put a bunch of really bizarre procedural protections around it that said, oh, if you're suing over an order of the TSA, you can't sue in a federal district court like every other federal lawsuit you would ever file. You have to sue in a federal court of appeals. Well, the bizarre part about that is courts of appeals don't ever make factual determinations. They only look at the law. And what the rules said was that in any such challenge, the only thing they would look at is the record provided by the agency. So my testimony, my experience in the airport, all of that would be out the window, and only what TSA chose to submit to them would be in the record. And that looked like a great way to lose, which is why we didn't do that.